More of both entertainment and sports today.
Keep God first.
Watch me on entertainment and sports today.
Stay tuned for entertainment and sports today.
Here we are at Natural Products Expo West, and we're at one of our favorite booths. It's Natural Factors, and I'm speaking with Carlene Karst, and she is amazing. She is so knowledgeable, not only beautiful, but knowledgeable about health and nutrition. And she's going to tell you a little bit about these products, but I want to start first with this incredible book that she has written. Took her a year and a half to write, so lucky husband of hers, because she's not just beautiful, but she also knows how to cook, which is, you know, something that a lot of women don't do these days, and it's a shame, as we were talking, because really eating right keeps you healthy, and preventative is always better than once you're already ill from not eating right. And it's too easy to go through fast food and pick up something for the family, but you know, if they can learn how to cook properly for your family. These recipes are quick, they're easy, they look delicious, they taste delicious, and then your family is healthy. What could be better, right?
It's a win-win for sure. And you know what, really, that was the inspiration behind the book. As I was mentioning, I'm a nutritionist and I studied to be a dietitian 20 years ago. But when I became a mom and I had a family, I really started to connect the dots that I couldn't just graze all day on some of my favorite foods, that I actually had to learn how to prepare food that was quick, that was simple, dancing through picky eaters, tired children, sports, activities, school, work, you name it. And it can be very overwhelming. And so that was how I started to kind of find my love and my joy in my kitchen, is realizing like this is a really important commitment that I'm going to make as a mom to my family, is to feed them as good a food as possible, real food, whole food that I can create for them every day, and make sure that I'm giving them the very best that I can give them. They're not always going to love it, that's for sure. But really, that was kind of my goal with the book, is just to really help other families to be as healthy as they can be. And we know it's all about prevention. Everything in health is about prevention. So what you put in your body every single day does influence how you feel. So I chose the title, This Kitchen is for Dancing, because I want people to really find the enjoyment and the fun. So the book is going to be, we're doing a soft launch here this weekend at Natural Products Expo West, and then the book will be available on Amazon and in select retailers in Canada and the United States. I have a few nutrients that I would call foundational. A good probiotic, a good omega-3 fish oil is really important for the brain, for heart and joint, and anti-inflammatory. But what we eat, and in particular things that will impact our microbiome, so it's all about the gut now, right? And so
Yes. Just really quick, how did that all of a sudden become so popular? Everybody's talking about the gut, and just a few years ago, no one mentioned anything about the gut or probiotics and prebiotics.
it's absolutely true. But if we look back, Hippocrates 2,000 years ago mentioned how, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food, and how the gut really is the caveat of all healing. And I think as we continue to look at chronic disease that's impacting so many people, we really recognize the connection between the health of our gastrointestinal tract and everything from our brain to our joints to food allergies and food sensitivities. It all comes back to the health of the microbiome, and all those trillions of cells that live in our body, and they're impacted by poor diet, processed food, unhealthy cooking oils, trans fatty acids, taking too many antibiotics. All of these things will impact our bacteria, and it creates a pathogenic environment. And so really, what do you do each day to improve the health of your gut? So one of the things you can do is eat fermented food. So I don't know if you ever drink kombucha.
I have.
Yeah, or eat sauerkraut. So a little bit of fermented food each day is kind of like fertilizer for your gut. So it really goes a long way.
How about taking a little vinegar?
Yeah, a little bit of vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is amazing. It will help to improve the healthy bacteria, the probiotics that are there. Then you want to feed it with good bacteria. Inulin, chicory, artichokes, garlic, onions, turmeric. All these food really are called prebiotics, and they help to fuel the bacteria. Fermenting food is amazing for your gut.
If you start cooking right,
Yes.
and you throw this in,
Win-win.
and lastly, I was speaking to your husband earlier, And he mentioned, of course, everybody's into cannabis these days, and he was talking about how we actually naturally produce cannabis in our own bodies just from taking omega-3 and 6.
Right. So we have this complex system in our body called the endocannabinoid system. And
Who knew?
Who knew? And it's relatively new in which we found out this information. But what's so unique is that we have it, but there are certain foods and certain plant compounds in particular that can impact it the way that cannabis would. So if you're going to be using cannabis, it impacts your endocannabinoid system, and it can give you benefits for digestion, anti-inflammatory, for mental health, in terms of reducing stress and anxiety. But what people don't realize is that the omega-3 fatty acids, and in particular DHA, helps to turn on and activate the endocannabinoid system. So all these years that we've talked about supplementing with fish oils and supplementing with omega-3s, and we see all this incredible research of how it works on inflammatory conditions and how it supports your brain so that you maybe don't feel as stressed or as anxious. It, I think, has a lot to do with its impact on the endocannabinoid system. So incorporating, yes, cannabis and CBD is going to be very impactful, but also so are some of these plant compounds and omega-3 fatty acids.
And
Fascinating research.
And even if you don't want to incorporate cannabis into your diet, you can just incorporate omega-3s and omega-6s, and your body makes its own, which also makes you happy, almost like you're high.
Yes, it's true. And omega-3s have been studied that, and they've compared blood tests of omega-3s in the blood and seen people who are calmer and have less stress usually have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids. So it's very, very impactful. So it's one of the foundational nutrients. We want to make sure we're getting about 1,500 milligrams to 3,000 milligrams of omega-3s per day, because most people are not using enough. So we really want to make sure dosage is everything when it comes to natural health products.
And of course, you can order omega-3s or 6s right here at Natural Factors. So thank you so much for joining us here at this booth, and thank you so much, beautiful. I really appreciate it. And don't forget the book, and especially this fabulous powder for your drinks and your smoothies. Hey, now we're here at the Natural Factors booth, and I'm speaking with Rob. You probably remember him from speaking with him before, last year and the year before that. And he's with his lovely wife, Jill, who is also working at the same company. And they're going to tell us about a couple of these products, which, you know, I was telling Rob what great shape he's in, and he said it has something to do with this little product right here, proteins and greens. So he's going to tell me why he feels like this is really getting him in such great shape.
Well, I don't think protein is new. I don't think greens are new. But the form that these are in is actually very new. So it's actually a 100% fermented greens and 100% fermented protein.
So it's the fermented that's new.
It's the fermented process. So the fermented, you can almost, there's a lot of attributes of fermentation, or really what is fermentation. When you think of things like sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, there's a lot of kimchi, a lot of dishes like that. Those are all a fermented dish. And there's a lot of things that have come out of that where people being very healthy. There's a lot of extra probiotics are found in societal groups, cultural groups that actually have had eat a lot of fermented foods. So those are some of the preliminary benefits, but a lot of the things I've done research on the fermentation process, it's amazing what it does. So for instance, one thing that fermentation does for protein, so you get a 40% greater protein absorption with a fermented protein.
Really?
Yeah, 40% more. So if you usually take in a sitting, you can take about 20 to 21 grams of protein. This is for people that work out or that lift. You know, you can take 40 grams, but half of it's just excreted from your body. So now with this taking 21 grams, it's like basically taking 29 or 30 grams of a non-fermented protein. So that really helps the protein part. Now for the greens, fermentation again is kind of like a pre-digestive process. So it actually breaks it down. It actually breaks down a lot of the carbohydrates and the fibers, so that makes it easier to digest, number one. But some of the things that fermentation does, I think one of the most astounding things is the aspect of it actually helps create nutrients. So this is something that kind of puts science on its ears, because the science will go out and they'll pull a piece of kale from the back, and they'll test it, say, oh, the kale's got this many B vitamins, this many this vitamins, and they think that's all you're going to get. Well, when you go through a digestive process, actually additional A, B, C, K vitamins are created. Take fenugreek, for instance. You take fenugreek, you put it in the lab, they test it, there's no B vitamins in it whatsoever. You actually ferment fenugreek, they actually has B12 in fermented fenugreek. So B12 was actually created in the fermentation process. In the fermentation, if you have a good, excellent digestive process, which sadly a lot of older people don't, they're not getting that extra, vitamins that are produced. So that's another.
So by the fermentation of the product, then it helps people digest it.
It helps people digest it, but actually creates additional vitamins that actually assist in the uptake of the other nutrients in the product itself. The other thing that you have is with fermented greens, there's a lot of anti-nutrients. So anti-nutrients would be something that actually prevent other nutrients from being absorbed. Anti-nutrients are something natural to plant material. It's kind of a protection mechanism. So when bugs and things are trying to eat it, they say, I don't want it. But those things actually cause, for us, it makes it difficult for us to uptake a lot of those nutrients. So actually, gas, bloating. So it actually breaks down those anti-nutrients. So that's a big benefit of that. Now another thing too with having the protein and the greens together. So greens are typically thought as what? Alkaline or acidic?
Greens? Wouldn't some of them be alkaline, some of them be?
Typically alkaline, right? So alkaline is really what we want to do with our bodies. You alkalinize it, you're much healthier. There's a lot of acidic types of foods like
sugar
and meats and a lot of things that cause acid, which is causing a lot of problems. Well, protein is typically thought of as being acidic. Alkaline, the greens are typically alkaline. So now you're getting a good alkaline acidic balance where somebody's just taking a straight protein powder, they're not getting that. So again, with all those things into play, I think this is one of the reasons why I think I've had such a great success with our fermented protein and greens more than any other protein I've taken. I've been plateaued for 3, 4, 5 years. And then all of a sudden I started taking this, and over the last several months I've been getting bigger and gaining weight, but it's been more muscle as I've seen my strength increase significantly over, just a few months. So really what I see here, this is like really the premium. If you want the best, this is it. If you want the optimum nutritional uptake for the people, just wanting energy, this is good. For the people that are really wanting to get stronger, this is really what's going to do it for them. One of the issues that older people have is the fact that they don't have enough hydrochloric acid in their gut. They're not digesting food properly, and when they're not digesting food, they're not getting the nutrient uptake. It's actually passing through their system. So the fermentation is also, it's kind of like an accelerated digestive process. So now they're able to get the nutrients out of the plant material. Now keep in mind that a majority of these ingredients are ones that we grow on our own farms. I know you can't see it here, but on the side of the box you can see where that's a picture of our farms there. That's somebody actually in some of our 1,000 acres of organic farms. And so, and also we have pictures over there on the wall showing you our organic farms. We have over 1,000 acres, so a good majority of these ingredients are from our farms.
Nice.
So it's very pure. Some of the richest farmland in North America up in British Columbia, miles from any civilizations, and the soil's over 6 feet deep. It's just an incredible, rich produce that we have that we then concentrate and put in these formulas.
Good soil makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Now you also have some tablets here that I noticed.
This is our, I think we may have mentioned it, we talked about these before, but we didn't necessarily have them available. We do now. It's our Whole Earth and Sea, where we take, again, from our farms, we take close to 36 different ingredients, where we talk about cauliflower, broccoli, red radish, black radish, arugula, and all these. We're growing it organically. And then we take this produce, we put it through the EnviroSimplex process, where we take over 300 pounds of this live, fresh plant material, this EnviroSimplex machine, which we invented ourselves, and we made 1 pound of concentrate. So it's a 300-to-1 concentration to where each one of these tablets that you see here,
God, are you kidding me?
each one of those tablets has a 1/4 pound of live organic plant material. So you put this in your hand,
which I call a 1/4 pounder.
It doesn't feel like a 1/4 pound, but it's actually a 1/4 pound. So it's an incredible product. Now some people say, well, it looks green on the outside because that's what you think they would get. So maybe it's just a coating, but if you just snap it in half, you can see it's green all the way through.
And you want to smell it. You want to smell it.
And you smell that.
And it really smells just, like fresh greens.
Yeah, you said it smelled like grasses or green grasses. So what does a multiple vitamin usually smell like? Does it smell good?
No. When I break up open, that's why I don't break them up because, it doesn't smell good at all. I don't know. I can't even describe the smell, but it's not something that that you would enjoy. It doesn't smell natural.
Right.
Yeah, you're smelling a lot of it's called the USP vitamins, so they're typically made in a lab, and even other ones that, this is deemed a whole food vitamin, but a lot of our competitors, what they'll do is they'll take, USP vitamins and they'll ferment them on different vegetables, but it's still the USP. So you get that USP smell, the minerally smell. And a lot of people don't even like multiples because they smell so bad. Right. So this is what really makes ours different, is just the high concentration. You don't need to take it with food because it is food essentially, and it's even got a full, as you can see here on the side, it's a full complement of multiple vitamins and minerals, and that is, again, the majority of which is from the food source that's in there. So this is a very unique product. There's nothing else like it on the market, and we've had some great results from it.
There's a lot right there. The fact that you don't have to take it with food says everything, because it is a food. Whereas all the other vitamins, they say take with food, and if you don't take it with food, they're not even. From what I've understood in the past, people saying, "Oh yeah, you have to take the vitamins with food; they're not absorbed." And what's really sad too is that when they're not really made from food, they really don't break up in your system. I've seen it happen to me where they just stay solid.
I think especially the prenatals, because I remember when I was pregnant, every smell everywhere and every vitamin upset my stomach. I just couldn't take a prenatal, but the doctor kept saying you need to take your folic acid. Well, now it's a methylfolate, and that's the other great thing. We also have now a prenatal. It's a methylfolate, which means it's broken down, and the B12 is a methylcobalamin. Very important. Those two forms of breaking the B's down.
But the greens is like 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. So that's how concentrated it is. It's a phenomenal product. Now, again, keep in mind that these products, Natural Factors sells supplements, right? This is a supplement to a meal. So a lot of people say, okay, well, I can keep eating my French fries and junk food, and then I'll have this stuff instead. No, this is to complement, a great diet. We really strongly encourage everybody should be eating, several servings of fruits and vegetables, and there's times when you're not able to get it, or you need to kind of make up for it, right? You're kind of catching up for many years of abusing your body. Well, then you take this in addition to a good diet, and we really encourage that, because supplements alone are never going to get you where you need to be. You have to eat well.
Not eating a vegetable for breakfast, so it's a good alternative for that.
Well, I'd like to put a challenge out to your listeners. So those of you that are eating French fries, just do an experiment here. Take 2 weeks, eat good food, eat these, and see how you feel. And if you feel better and you have more energy, it's not the 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're starting to slump, and fall asleep, and you're feeling good and energetic, maybe that's enough to convince you that those French fries, what they're actually doing to your body. And maybe through a positive standpoint, you say, well, I really want more energy. And that's what you're going to get from these foods. And so even those French fries are great, is what you have to suffer afterwards.
Now, if they want this, how do they get it?
Well, we've got numerous stores across the LA, Southern California area. Have got these. A lot of our independent health food stores. Now we're only in natural product stores.
Like Whole Foods.
So Sprouts, you can find them. Mother's Market is in your area, I believe. So.
Now, and can they find the different locations by going to your website?
If you go to the website, then you actually look this, and on the website it'll actually designate which stores carry our products. So our website is naturalfactors.com, www.naturalfactors.com, and you'll be able to find all those there, and be able to find where our physical locations are for our retailers, and also where online you can get them.
Now here we are for our third segment at the Natural Factors booth. They have so many great things that we just can't get away. Now, right now, we're going to be telling you about BioSil, which is an incredible product. It's a collagen product. And, of course, as a woman, anything that's going to make you look younger or more beautiful, I believe it's even endorsed by Christy Brinkley, right? Okay. So now Richard is very knowledgeable about this product, and he's going to be telling us a little bit more about it.
Well, BioSil is a collagen generator. It doesn't contain collagen itself, but rather it contains nutrients that a nutrient complex that stimulates the production of your own collagen and also helps protect collagen from two of the leading causes of collagen damage, homocysteine and cortisol. So collagen in the body is made by cells called fibroblasts, and enzymes inside and around the cells assemble collagen. And enzymes need nutrients as cofactors in order to function. So BioSil enables or starts up or charges these enzymes so that they can produce collagen and your body's own collagen with your own DNA on it. It's a different mechanism of action from eating collagen itself. When you eat collagen, your body digests them into the proteins or amino acids that they're consisted of. And these amino acids can then be used as building blocks for new collagen. Also, some of the collagen peptide products can perhaps try to tell the body to make collagen in a roundabout way. But our product is different. It directly activates and supports the enzymes that are actually assembling the new collagen, and BioSil can also protect collagen from two of the leading causes of damage. So in a way, I like to say they're complementary products, but BioSil by itself does work extremely well. We have over 20 years and over $15 million in research showing statistically significant and clinically relevant improvements to the skin, such as a 30% reduction in fine lines and wrinkles.
30%? Yay! That's awesome. I love it.
And that study had women between 40 and 65, and they took 2 capsules for 20 weeks. In another study, BioSil strengthened nails. In one study, BioSil increased the thickness and strength of hair 13%. The most recent study on BioSil was done in Bologna in Italy, and it was with women that had brittle nails. 70% of the women had ridges, longitudinal ridges that went the same direction as the finger. And in this study, in 6 months, BioSil improved the nail plate on all the participants. 44% the nail ridges completely went away, and they were much improved in the other 56%.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm still back on in just 5 months, 30% better skin. I love that.
And generally people start to see BioSil work within 1 to 2 months. First in their nails. They notice the nails grow faster, they're stronger, less brittle, and they often have better shine to them. Generally, people will notice improvements start in the hair in about 2 to 3 months. First, by faster growing hair, less hair falling out at the root, and over time, as the hair gets longer, the newer BioSil hair won't split at the ends as quickly. They'll notice thicker hair in generally about 3 to 4 months. In the skin, our collagen makes up about 75% of the skin. It gives skin its thickness, its plumpness, and it also reflects light from the skin. About 90% of the light that hits the skin goes through the epidermis, the outer layer, into the dermis. And the more collagen you have, the more light reflects outward, and the more radiance or glow somebody will have.
Really? Oh my God, that's great to know. So that's why some women, they just seem to glow and they look so beautiful, and other women, their skin looks really dull.
Unfortunately, as the collagen network breaks down, the skin loses elasticity and less light reflects from it, so they'll have a more dull complexion. Also, the amount of blood in the dermis has a lot to do with somebody's skin color. The red color from the hemoglobin, the hemoglobin reflects a red color, so the more blood in the skin, the more pink color somebody will have. And as the collagen levels in the body go down, the body has over 60,000 miles of blood vessels, and they are not as elastic as the collagen level decreases. So less blood will go through the skin, and the people will have less blood in the skin. They'll have less of that pink color, and they'll have more of a gray complexion. So as the collagen level in the skin goes down, you'll have less reflection, and you'll have a more gray complexion. So and BioSil can improve both of these by increasing the amount of collagen and elastin in the skin and in the blood vessels.
That's amazing. So a simple thing like just taking BioSil every day will make such a difference in your hair, your nails, your skin. And of course in your attitude, because when you look better, you're going to feel better.
And it also helps collagen all throughout the body. Collagen's the body's go-to material to make when it needs to make something that's both strong and flexible. And pound for pound, if you look at the tensile strength of it, it's actually stronger than steel. And it forms the framework of all connective tissue. As an example, the bones are about 30% collagen, where it gives a bone its flexibility and its ability to transfer energy from one area to the other area. And it's what gives a bone its like ability to bend rather than break. And modern bone researchers think that 80% of bone strength is actually related to this amount of flexibility they like to refer to as toughness. And in bone, collagen serves a secondary role as well. It serves as the binding sites or the parking places or the for the calcium phosphate crystals to be deposited into to give somebody their bone mineral density. And the more collagen fibers somebody has in the bone, the more bone mineral density potential they have. Also, joints are collagen-rich tissues. As an example, the ligaments that directly connect bones to one another and often form capsules around the joint to hold the synovial fluid in. Those are generally about 80 to 90% collagen, as are the tendons that hold muscles to the bone. And then the cartilage, which is on the end of the long bones that allow the bones to glide instead of grind, often are 70 to about 75% collagen. And as the collagen network breaks down, these joint tissues lose their strength, they lose their elasticity, and then pain and inflammation are often the result.
Right. Now, does this work better than glucosamine and chondroitin for areas like that? You know, with because we're talking about your ligaments and everything. I know that glucosamine and chondroitin is supposed to help in that. Does collagen work better? Or a BioSil, which helps your body make the collagen?
BioSil is a much broader spectrum supplement to support joint health. It helps improve the collagen in the ligaments, the tendons, and in the cartilage, and also it can improve the quality of the synovial fluid by cross-linking the hyaluronic acid polymers in the synovial fluid. The orthosilicic acid in BioSil has a structural role in that synovial fluid, which is critical to send nutrients to the cartilage. Cartilage has living cells called chondrocytes, which need oxygen and they need nutrients on a continual basis to continue to remodel the cartilage tissue. And one of the odd thing about chondrocytes is they don't have blood flow. They're non-vascular tissue. So the blood goes to the synovial membrane on the inside of the ligament capsule around the joint, and there are cells there that take the nutrients and oxygen out of the blood, put it in the synovial fluid. And then when somebody moves around, it mixes up the fluid and takes the nutrients to the chondrocytes so they can continue to repair the cartilage and stay alive. And when people don't move, then there's not this circulation to them to give them the nutrients they need to survive. And BioSil can improve all the components of the joint. In a recent study, a 12-week study on men with osteoarthritis of the knee, they took 2 BioSil capsules or 2 placebo capsules for the 12 weeks, and the group taking BioSil had 48% less pain. It was about 25% better than the placebo group. It was they reduced stiffness 48%. It was 35% better than the placebo group. And there were 17 daily tasks that were monitored using a WOMAC questionnaire. And these are not daily tasks the guys are going to brag about at the gym or at the bar, but rather they're things like putting on socks in the morning, getting out of a car, going upstairs, getting out of a bathtub, going shopping, very basic everyday utilitarian tasks. And BioSil reduced the difficulty performing those tasks by 41%. It was about 26% better than the placebo group. So it can make a very meaningful difference in the joint. I have nothing to say bad about glucosamine and chondroitin products. The hyaluronic acid itself is a disaccharide. One part is N-acetylglucosamine and one part is D-glucuronic acid. And they link together and then they link with one another to form these long chains. So the glucosamine can be beneficial, but our product can impact more components of the joint, and it can take those long chains and cross-link them together to increase their strength. So they're very complementary products. If you have reason to take glucosamine, you have reason to take BioSil.
So someone could actually take both if they wanted to.
Get even better results.
And definitely, I'm going to be taking BioSil every day, and I think you should too. I mean, what more do you want? Your hair is going to look better, your skin's going to look better, your nails are going to look better, your joints are going to feel better. It's a no-brainer.
You can look at it as a beauty product with a side benefit of better bones and joints.
Thank you so much for stopping by this incredible booth, and we'll see you at the next booth.
It's a very good point. I mean,
entertainment and sports today.